All right.
Monday, everybody. Welcome to
Happy
the show.
Monday.
I tell right before I hit the record button, I always say, "Okay, quiet on the set, smiles, everybody." And Kurt today was like, "Do I have to smile?" I'm like, "No, I don't have to."
All will be explained. Oh yes. All will be explained. Today on the big program, first of all, we invite you first of all, thank you for being here and joining us. Second, first of all, please follow, please like, please enjoy, please encourage, please smile, please happy face. What else can they do?
Here's the thing: if you subscribe to whatever platform you consume this show on, that would be awesome, and it's free. And you can heart us, you can leave a review or comment, all the things.
All the things. Today, we're going to tell you about, and this is for real, there's going to be a Labubu movie.
Isn't that the funnest word to say? Labubu. Labubu.
Mm-hmm. Working title for that movie, by the way, is Super Expensive Stupid Thing That You Had to Buy. Big best Thanksgiving side dish and what Thanksgiving will cost you this year, also on today's show.
That's a little depressing. Hot male celebrities according to straight men. It's a good list. They're forgetting some people, though.
Yes, I had a few, too. Questions to ask your kids that they'll actually answer. This is like when they get home from school. I guess, how was your day? That doesn't work, but other things do. And finally, Jelly Roll did something that shocked his wife, Bunny XO. All on the way. Everybody's working for the weekend. This is the weekend recap part of the show. So we tell you that the Huskies did well in their game against Purdue. They won 49-13. The Cougs beat Louisiana Tech 28-3. And the Seahawks lost. Yeah, the last minute thing, I believe, 21-19 against the Rams.
They fell short.
They couged it. Is that what you say?
They couged it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. What did you do this weekend?
Do you want to do your stuff first? Because my story is long.
Okay, yeah. I had a great weekend. I friends and family quality time. It was great. On Saturday night, however, I will tell you that I was the designated driver for three others.
I thought DD on Saturday night. It says DD on Saturday night. I thought you saw Duran. I was
or I played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Okay. So you're designated driver on Saturday night.
No, I was a designated driver. I did not go to bed until after 2:30 in the morning. And I will tell you that my body and whole being doesn't like that. Like, as our friends Brad and Melissa would say, yesterday was a write-off.
Yesterday was a write-off for me as well.
It was?
And this is gonna sound like one-upping, and I'm not trying to do that. It's just the way things worked out. So on Saturday, I was emceeing a fundraiser for St. Vincent de Paul in Bremerton. So I left here at like 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday morning.
So I had to get there, set up all the audio, set up all the video, set up everything. And then it was a great event, fantastic event. Loved the night. Got everything torn down, and it was time to come home. And there was they have very few ferries running that late. So I decided I would drive around rather than wait until 11:40 for the last ferry. Driving around, I get up to almost to the Ship Canal Bridge on I-5 North, and I have an actual blowout. I've never had a tire blowout before, and this is a full-size van loaded down with probably 1,500 pounds worth of equipment between lighting and speakers and stuff. So kapow! So I hobble over to the side of the road, didn't get killed. And now I am on the just prior to the Ship Canal Bridge. There's a pretty big burn over there that you can, you can hide on. So I'm going to keep this quick as much as I can. So I call Safeco Insurance because I've got the roadside assistance. They say, "You don't have roadside assistance with your policy, sir." I said, "Yes, I do." "Hang on, we'll call you back." 10 minutes later, they call back and say, "Hey, guess what? I've got good news. You've got roadside assistance." I was like, "No
kidding. That's what I pay for."
So we're going to send you a text, follow the prompts. Okay, the first text comes in at 12:16 a.m. Then the cops show up, by the way, and I want to hand it out to this SPD because they were awesome. They said, "You can't leave your car here. It's dangerous." I was like, "I know." It's the driver's side rear tire completely blown out. I mean, it was obliterated. So they said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll follow you very slowly with our lights on across the bridge, sir, so you can get off at the 45th exit right there and at least be off the actual freeway, right? So we did 5 miles an hour across the Ship Canal Bridge with the cops behind me with their lights on for
So you're
safety.
driving on a rim?
Well, there's a little bit of rubber left, so I was driving on barely rubber.
God, Kurt.
So, okay, so we get off to the side of the road. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. They are really great guys. So there I am, a very dark exit with a bunch of trees next to me that people kept on scooting into and out of. I don't know what's going on.
I was just gonna say, and homeless people. That exit is like filled with homeless people.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Now is when it gets fun. So
no.
So Safeco, the first thing that they send is we're trying to find you a service person. All right, that was at 12:45. Then at should I say the name of the towing company or not? Because they were horrible.
Yeah.
102 Quick and Cheap Towing LLC has been dispatched to come and get you.
Quick and Cheap Towing is where it all went sideways.
Yeah. 1:35, a half hour later. And I know this takes a while. I've had this happen before.
Yeah.
Driver is en route. Quick and Cheap, 1:35. 1:40. 25 minutes estimated arrival time. All right. Safeco, now it's 2:30. Has your service provider arrived yet? And I'm like, no, it has not. Thanks. We'll blah, blah, blah. Now, ETA update, Quick and Cheap Towing will be there in 45 minutes. And that was at 2:40. Then there's no more text because this is when I started calling Quick and Cheap Towing. And they're like, we're on our way. Okay, where are you? Well, we're in Tukwila. It's like, why are you in Tukwila? Well, we came from Auburn and there was bad traffic. I look at my traffic map. There's no traffic in Tukwila, sir. It's
not at
2:30
in the morning.
I'll skip the other conversations I had with them. They finally got there at 4 a.m. and the person was completely ill-equipped to fix the situation. Had way too small of a tow truck to tow a full-size van. And the options were, well, I can tow you or we can change the tires. Like, let's just change the tire. There's a spare underneath. Did not know how to get the spare out. Could not figure out how to undo the lug nuts. And so now the person's like, do you want me to tow it? And I was like, you can't tow it. The rear tire is blown. Well, we'll tow it from the back. And I was like, no, that sounds dangerous and stupid. I've never seen a car towed where, right? I have 3 years experience doing this, sir. So now I'm in a screaming match with this idiot who promptly gets in his truck and drives away.
Oh my God, Kurt, you should have called, that I need you to
hold on.
Okay.
Then I decide, all right, I'll take measures in my own hands. Meanwhile, just so you know, my wife Dana is on the phone with me the entire time because she's concerned about being on the side of the road with the blah, blah, blah. I did have one person approach the van and knock on the window.
Are you
Yeah. And I said, go away. And then they just kept on walking down the freeway. They got on I-5 and started walking the opposite direction on I-5.
Oh my God.
Crazy people. So I took measures into my own hands. I ended up calling Jazz Towing Service, and they were awesome. They were there. And again, yeah, Jazz hands. And again, I know it takes a little while. So 45 minutes later, like they said, they were there. And finally, with a flatbed, right? Because that's what we needed, not a tow truck, Yep. So they get up in the flatbed. Renee's the guy's name. Drove me up to Mill Creek, and I finally got home at 6:45 in the morning. So I'm going to say, I don't recommend spending 5 or 6 hours on the side of I-5 on a Saturday morning. B, thank you to the SPD. It was a dangerous situation that they put themselves in to help out me with my lame-ass tire, which, just so people know, these are relatively, these are not like, oh, I'm driving on bald tires. It's my own fault. They were, they were changed, I think, 5 years ago. So, which is, and C, I'm not going to repeat any more names, but we did find out that, and this makes sense, that the roadside assistance deal, they put the call out. So it's 2 a.m. They put the call out, hey, who wants to help this Yahoo off of I-5 and drive up to Mill Creek? and it's up to them to respond, and nobody responds because apparently when they're doing this for the insurance companies, they get paid a fraction of what they get paid. Like when I called, interestingly, when I called the first people, they answered right away and they're ready to come and get me. By the way, the tow costs $700.
Oh my gosh. I
Which is
would
going to
be
be,
putting that back to the insurance
I'm
company.
going to reimburse them. You know, they're going to reimburse me. But what you were going to say was, in the future, the first thing you should do is just call on your own and try to get reimbursed. I may be done with Safeco for even pulling this crap. I do believe that they say, okay, well, you know, obviously you're not going to get the high quality like Mary's Towing or whatever when you say, hey, we want somebody to drive somebody to Mill Creek for $45, you know, at 2 a.m. Who's going to do that? So if I sound agitated, it's because I did not sleep at all that night, and I only got about 3 hours of sleep yesterday because I had to get up and do stuff. So it's been a weekend, but I promise to be upbeat for the rest of the show.
What I was
Anyway.
going to tell you is that, I mean, it won't always work because if he's working, he can't, but Pat does have a flatbed truck, a long one.
I'm not going to call. Thank you. I'm not going to call your boyfriend way the hell up there. And does he have the winch and everything to put a vehicle on it? I guess he does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Renee from Jazz Towing was fantastic.
Nice.
You
Well,
know,
I'm
and at
glad
that
you're-
point, of course, at that point, you're not thinking about money. I did do something funny, which was, you know, he's like, I can't tow you until you fill out, you know, you got to pay up front, right? I get that. So I get up my credit card. You know, okay, great. Here's the credit card, da 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 da. And just like anybody else, anything else, it's like if you'd like to leave a tip, here you go. And it's like, you know, 15, 20, 25%. What do I always do? I put, okay, 20%, bam. That's 20% of $700. So he got a hefty $140 tip, which is okay. I that's fine. You know, I mean, at that point, I was like, you know, who gives a crap? I will pay $10,000 to get home now. You know, so that was my weekend, everybody. Thank you for listening.
That sucks.
So I'm tired too. Why don't we go ahead and
Today
get the
is a
show
new day.
started proper? By the way, if this is the radio, we could never go on the air and start tearing into people like that. So I was kind of happy to do
Nor
that.
could we talk that long.
Yeah. I told you it'd be long. Now, fun stuff. Labubu.
I love this. I love saying Labubu, and I had one Labubu, and then I gave it to my daughter Riley.
Okay. You know what they are? Those little fuzzy keychain dolls with the sharp teeth. They remind me of the troll dolls from way back when, but they're way more expensive.
Yes, they are.
They're getting their own movie. Sony picked up the film rights, but it's not clear if it'll be live action or animation. It's still too early in development. There isn't even a director or producer yet. So we can't tell you much more. This says that explains the boo-boos usually cost between $20 and $50. And the sort of the caveat here, or I guess the risk is you don't get to see which Labubu you're getting until you open the box.
No, you hope that it's the special edition.
Mm-hmm. Some of them are super rare and worth a lot of money, but more often than not, you're spending $50 on $3 worth of Labubu, probably.
Yeah.
So there'll be a movie. And let me take a step back again. Thank you again for listening to that story. I thought it was important to share.
Plus, no, it was a good one, Kurt. That's a glimpse into your life, and no wonder you're like super tired and grumpy.
Plus, it's our podcast, and we can talk about what we want, right?
That's right. That is right.
And maybe somebody got something out of that, which is, I don't know if the roadside assistance is worth it anymore. It seems to me the money that I paid for roadside assistance over the last 20 years, I could have just paid $700 and gone home. But I don't know what else to say about that.
That sucks.
I think I'm done.
Oh, we're talking about Thanksgiving, which will be here in a week and a half.
It will be. And we've got two Thanksgiving stories back to back here. The first one is the best Thanksgiving dish of all time is voted by you. Typically, we have what's your favorite? And it comes down to, you know, cranberry sauce and green bean casserole and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that. This just basically says they did a poll and they came up with the number one best Thanksgiving side dish of all time. I agree with this. Do you agree with this, Jen?
I haven't seen the answer yet. I was waiting for you to tell me.
Okay. This says this is the poll. We handpicked 32 of our most loved Thanksgiving recipes and pitted them against each other in a mouth-watering game of elimination for 2 weeks at the website. This is, it doesn't matter. All recipes, allrecipes.com.
Oh, okay. I use them a lot.
They, I guess they did it like a brackets or something like that. And the results are in. The people have spoken. The side dish you simply can't live without for Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes.
Okay.
You don't like it.
No, I
know
do.
what that okay means.
Here's the thing with mashed potatoes. I feel like mashed potatoes are like a pretty common thing. So it's not like stuffing is a side dish that I only get on Thanksgiving. Green bean casserole, I get a little bit more, but usually it's reserved for,
Right.
more special occasions, I guess.
Right.
So that's what, but
So
I love some mashed potatoes with lots of butter or with some gravy.
if you're making mashed potatoes and it says add a cup of milk, add like 5 cups of milk. Then it's perfect. They're
Because
nice and
you like them runny.
not too runny. See, again, and that's what comes into play here. We all have our specific
That's
consistency,
true. Because I
specific
don't like
taste
chunky mashed
that we
potatoes.
want. Chunky mashed. Well, you know what? But the chunks are kind of nice in there as well. So if you like something more than that for your sides on Thanksgiving, you're wrong.
I like fluffy, buttery, yummy goodness for mashed potatoes.
All right. Now this story I don't agree with.
I don't either, but if you travel, then I get it. Oh my God. The average American is going to spend
Stop.
nearly $1,000 on Thanksgiving, according to this little poll that they took. And
Well, everybody's going, what?
I know, but if you're traveling, that puts a big chunk of, money towards your budget or off your budget.
Well, I have a feeling that this is done. Let's not even say the company who did it.
Uh-oh, I'm frozen. Hey, Pat. Oh, there
you're
you
back.
are.
You're
I was frozen. Okay.
Your screen was frozen. So here's what the breakdown is. If you're traveling for Thanksgiving, it says $293 on travel, including things like gas, maybe a plane ticket or hotel. Food is $175. Does that sound right, Jen?
Yeah, that's probably about right, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. It depends on how many people are sitting at your dinner table.
Mm-hmm. $110 on drinks. They're saying on average. Again, it's not just, this is for people that are also having Friendsgivings, I guess. And they're also including if you met up at a bar as well.
Yeah, but it says $291 on other random stuff, miscellaneous expenses. Like, what else would there be? But okay, I don't agree. I don't think it's going to be $1,000. I think you can do it way cheaper.
So
but again, it depends on how many people you have and if you're traveling or not.
We're not saying ignore that story, but take it for what it is.
Yeah.
And we successfully did not even give credit to the stupid app. I like that.
Ooh, I'm sexy and I know it.
This is kind of a fun list.
Yeah, I'm sexy.
They pulled a bunch of straight guys.
And let me just jump in here real quick and say that's not fair because guys have a thing. Like if I asked you, Jen, who do you think is the prettiest whatever celebrity? You'd say, female celebrity. You'd say, her and her and her and her and her.
Yeah.
I would not immediately think, Jen is probably gay. But for some reason, guys have to say, I'm a straight guy, but I think that this dude is good looking. And there's no need to say I'm a straight guy. You can just think that human beings are attractive without thinking, I want to,
I like that, Kurt, because I was kind of feeling weird about the story having to say that. So great.
Yeah. So, and this is actually pretty typical of a list that I think that everybody, men and women, would think are hot.
With
for this particular
some
one,
big missings though.
For this particular one, should we just read them fast? All 20 of them?
Sure. Starting with number one.
You take the first 10.
I'm going to go with, starting with number one. Chris Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Hugh Jackman, Henry Cavill.
I think it's Cavill or Cavill.
Cavill. Yeah. Timothy Oliphant.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Gosling. Ewan McGregor. Harrison Ford from the 80s. So that's
not
his
fair.
Indiana Jones days.
Still a good looking dude.
Paul Newman, Brad Pitt, and Pedro Pascal.
The rest of the list: Viggo Mortensen, Matthew McConaughey, Robert Redford, Jason Momoa, Oscar Isaac, Michael Fassbender, Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott is a nice addition.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Idris Elba, Keanu Reeves, and David Beckham. So this is the headline. Straight guys name the male celebrities they think are hot.
Now who's missing from there? Why aren't either of the Hemsworth brothers on there?
I don't know.
I mean, come on, Chris Hemsworth.
Where is Channing Tatum? Wouldn't that guy be on there?
I'd like to know. Yeah, I would think so. Someone also mentioned maybe Leonardo DiCaprio should be on there, but I
Right.
don't think he's that hot.
Well, as always, these lists are designed to get us to do this and say,
Yeah.
they're missing so and so and
That's
so and
right.
so.
That's right.
So anyway, that was how can you disagree with any of those people? How can I go in there and say, you know what? This is BS. Ryan Gosling is ugly.
Okay.
You know?
Let's move on.
Is Ryan Reynolds on here, by the way?
Oh no, he's really attractive and freaking funny.
Yeah. So do we have 2 BS lists in a row?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, the other list that we thought, the Thanksgiving was going to be $1,000.
We just got to move on though.
Okay, moving on. There we go.
Questions you can ask your kids after school that they'll actually respond to. I doubt it, but let's see what they have to say here.
Yeah, I wondered about that because having kids.
I ask questions sideways and upside down, and I can't get anything from my 16-year-old daughter.
How was school?
Macy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do today? Nothing.
Yeah. That's
all right.
exactly
So
right.
this is from a therapist. Here are some questions you could ask your kids after school that would get a better response than just fine. Okay.
What was the best part of your day? I don't know. They're saying to ask that though, and I asked that. What was the best part of your day? I don't know. I didn't have one. Well, you know what? Pick out the best of the worst then. Okay.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before that a girl I was dating that had a couple of kids. They did their peak and their pit.
Yeah.
Every day they had to share the best and the worst parts of their day. The second thing on this list is, what is a mistake that you learned from today? Like, did anything happen today that you do differently next time?
Oh my gosh, my daughter would never. I'm naysaying this list. I'm kind of like, what?
Wow.
Who were you proud of today? This works.
Who were you proud of today?
This supposedly turns your kids' attention to others, and it will show you what kind of behaviors they value. Another
Number 4
one
on their list.
What's one thing that would have made today better?
If I had $1 million.
Who did you help today is another question.
All right.
Go ahead with the last 2.
What was the most interesting thing you learned today? Emphasizing curiosity can give your kids lifelong love of learning. And the final thing in this list, and again, these are things that you can ask your kid after school that supposedly they'll actually respond to. What's something new that you'd like to try? You saying bologna slices for this one too?
Here's the thing. I hope that it works for you. For my particular situation, I try to ask different questions like this, and it doesn't work.
So basically,
but then if I'm randomly sitting around and she's sitting with me, she'll end up talking, and then just be ready to listen when they're ready to talk is what I'd say.
And this doesn't say what age the kids are, because I imagine when your 3rd grader comes home way more excited about school
maybe
than your 8th grader.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Stiff little fingers, everybody. Foul-mouthed AI toys. Let me start over again. Foul-mouthed AI toys could be a huge issue this Christmas, they're saying.
Okay. Tell me more.
A nonprofit is called Public Interest Research Group, released its 40th annual, quote, Trouble in Toyland report. In the past, they've focused on things like choking hazards, things like that. But they say AI is emerging as a new threat to look out for. Why is that, Jen Pirak?
I don't know, Kurt. Curtis, please tell me.
Oh. They tested a bunch of toys that use AI and have full-on conversations with kids, and some of these conversations were not exactly appropriate. Here's a quote from these people. We found some of these toys will talk in depth with kids about sexually explicit topics. They will offer advice on things like where a child can find matches or knives, and act dismayed when kids say that they have to leave.
What the hell?
In other words, there's no way to tell what an AI toy might talk about, and it might even pressure your kid to keep playing even if they say they're done.
Oh.
I mean, that's not great, but it sounds like, hey, here's where you can find the knives is also a bad thing. Your dad keeps the gun here, but he probably keeps the bullets over here.
There's supposed to be when companies put together AI stuff, I forget what they call them, but there's people specifically that are supposed to be there to make sure they put those parameters around what AI will talk about and stop it or flag it or something. This is nuts. Our world, I mean, I feel so old saying this because I feel like this is something our parents would say. Like, this is going to get ridiculous.
It could get bad, yeah. And I know people are saying, "Oh, that's Chicken Little, the sky is falling." It's like, no, we've never dealt with this before, and so, let's just hope that the good people, the good minds prevail, and not the ones that make more money by saying, "Yeah, it's okay if our AI toy talks to your kid about sex. What could possibly go wrong?"
Probably nothing.
Well,
or
probably,
everything.
maybe.
Wow,
another list that I think is probably not all that accurate.
Top 5 classic toys that still make perfect Christmas presents for kids today. Okay, well.
All right, so let's scratch off the foul-mouthed AI toys, right?
Yeah, we're going to erase it with an Etch-A-Sketch.
So this is what they're saying, make perfect Christmas presents. And again, it doesn't say the age group. So I think that should also be pointed out. But
okay, so there's Etch-A-Sketch,
mm-hmm.
the yo-yo, silly putty,
right?
The sock monkey.
Mm-hmm.
What? Magic 8-ball. Okay. And the slinky.
Mm-hmm.
And the corn popper. Okay, so it's different age ranges because the corn popper is that thing that
they wheel around and pop.
Yep.
Silly putty. If you can't, there aren't any newspapers anymore for them to, you used to be able to put the silly putty on the comics and peel it back and it would transfer to the silly putty. But now you'd have to push it to your computer screen to try to copy the comic you're reading on the computer.
I like that's true, Kurt. You're right. I think the comment is funny that they have on here. Think under silly putty. Think it's too dumb to entertain kids today. Haven't you heard of the 6'7" trend? 6'7".
That is, yeah.
That entertains kids. If that can, silly putty certainly has more value.
We are on a roll today. All right. Question of the day.
This is where it all turns around, right here.
Yes. And remind me, we need to do those AI generated songs. We should write an intro song for question of the day, which we do every day. This is a good one.
I loved it.
What is one of the most memorable things one of your teachers did?
This is so great. I love this. Lily said, I was blessed with some amazing human beings as teachers. My high school math teacher tutored me for free to help with ACT/SATs after I was upset with my scores. I had
a hard time as a freshman in college. One evening, I called my high school biology teacher just to hear a familiar and encouraging voice. The next day, she and her husband brought their whole family down to visit me and gave me a sugar glider flying squirrel to keep me company. Wow.
Oh my gosh. And then one of her professors for her master's program got ordained and married Bayard and her.
You know what's kind of funny about the sugar glider is I wonder if that teacher and her husband like, we need to get rid of this stupid sugar glider. Let's just give it to Lily.
I've never even heard of a sugar glider.
Oh, they're cool. Little pocket flying squirrel type things. All right. So again, these are kind of longer answers. So thanks for bearing with us. One of the most memorable things one of your teachers did, Corey, mine was a principal, Dr. Flaherty, in middle school. He involved himself into my life on my behalf towards my stepfather. I was very thankful someone stood up for me and had my back. She said, odd life I had in my middle school era, but it looks like Principal Flaherty helped out.
Oh, I love that. Mitch said his 5th grade teacher sent him to a weekly creative writing class. I don't know what made her think of it, but it gave me a level of confidence I had not felt before. Oh, that's nice.
Dorothy, my high school Spanish teacher, used to help us organize trips to Hayak for the Juanita High School language students. We'd spend a couple days hiking, taking classes, sharing meals, and speaking in the learned languages. It was a yearly event, and she would also invite students to her home to cook meals with the foreign language students. Wow. She and her husband, also a teacher, did missionary trips to Guatemala. Unfortunately, they're both gone now, but not forgotten. That is really, and that is so above and beyond. I don't know if that happens anymore these days.
I think that there's some, maybe.
I'd like to think that happens. I unfortunately think that people are too litigious and say, you took my kid to Hayak, and forget it. I don't want to go there. Phil, the day my dad died, I was 9. My mom took me back to school after lunch and told my teacher what had happened. Then my teacher told all the kids It's what God wanted. Oh my God. That's not a good one. I was thinking we are going to have happy ones.
No, there's some bad ones in here. Anne said,
Okay.
I loved my third grade teacher. I gave her huge hugs every day at the end of school. Fast forward 17 years, she works with my best friend and she gave me gifts when my babies were born. I would even end up meeting with her at local craft fairs. And then Jan said one of her teachers had her skip a grade, probably a good thing academically, not so sure about emotionally, because she was already one of the younger kids in the class and then you add another year to that. Oh, and Catherine Berry, by the way, she's a music teacher at she was a music teacher at one of my kids' schools. And she said, always have a pencil on your music stand. That's what one of her teachers taught her.
Let me go back to that last one. I was the youngest kid in my class. My birthday is August 26th, and I think the cutoff was like August 31st. And so my parents had also discussed holding me back a year, and I was terrified that they were going to do that. Ultimately did not, which I'm thankful for. And I don't know how it affected me as far as academically went, but I was terrified that I was going to have to repeat, not because of bad grades, but just because I was, young, and they thought, oh, he should be in the previous grade. Laurel, another one. This is not so good. When I was in third grade, Catholic school, the teacher called me up in front of the class and embarrassed and berated me. She had my brother the year before, and he definitely had undiagnosed ADHD. Was a handful in class, so she proceeds to talk badly about my brother to third graders. To this day, I still don't understand her motive. Doug, economics government teacher, pointed out the theory that there's no such thing as a free lunch, that everything has a cost, and that someone will likely be expecting something for it, recognition, payment, favor, or something like that, if there isn't a monetary cost given. This is the simplified description of his speech from the first day in class a long time ago.
Ooh,
wow.
See, I love when teachers give speeches and they stick with you, right? Those little lessons stick with you. Randy said his marching band was playing CNC Music Factory is going to make you sweat. And our band director tried to do this dance move where you grab your ankle and put your...
I know what he's talking about.
The sprinkler, right? It's the grab your hand and kick your leg. It's kind of like the sprinkler.
He may or may not have had to see a doctor after that.
Oh my God. He was a huge inspiration to so many of us. That's awesome. Do you have a story, Kurt?
You know what? I do. It's not one of the happier ones, but if you want to see my mom, Mrs. Cruz, get really pissed off, do this. My mom was a teacher as well until she had the kids, and then she stayed at home mom. So I learned to read at a very early age, and I was an advanced reader. So this is second grade. The teacher in Cincinnati, the teacher's name was Mrs. Boyers, and apparently she favored the girl students over the boy students. I guess I wasn't able to recognize this, but I was told later. But do you remember those things called SRA, student reading assignments?
Yeah.
Okay. I was we had to do those every day, but because my reading was, they didn't have advanced placement reading in second grade. So I would whip through this thing, answer the questions, and then sit there for 20 minutes or whatever the case may be. So I decided to go ahead and get the next SRA and read that one and do that. And I think I did another one.
Such an overachiever, Kurt Cruz.
Mrs. Boyers punished me by having me stay after class and write on the board over and over, "I will not work ahead."
Oh my gosh.
Yep. My mom was livid.
As she should be.
So if you think that I'm an underachiever, maybe it goes back to there.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. And I could argue that things were different then, and the teachers had the ability to do more. Do we have 5 minutes left?
Yes. Kurt
Okay.
Cruz.
Let's move on to.
I wanted to tell my story.
Go tell your story. We got plenty of time.
I had to give a book report in front of my teacher. It was when it was reading time in the class. Students would have to go up individually and give little book reports. Mr. Metzger in sixth grade, I went up to give my book report, and I was a little nervous because I'm having to give a one-on-one book report with my teacher or whatever.
Right.
He starts pulling this booger, the longest booger you've ever seen, out of his nose. And I'm mortified. I'm supposed to be giving my book report. And he's just talking nonchalantly, asking questions as he's pulling this booger out. And then he just starts busting up laughing, and he pulls up this little bottle from his desk saying it was rubber cement. I just rolled it all up.
Maybe he was trying to relax you with the old rubber cement booger joke.
I don't know, but it was memorable. Okay, moving on.
All right, we'll do this one story and then we'll get to the question of the day. Quickly.
I can talk about this because I really like Jelly Roll and Bunny XO. So
Okay.
Jelly Roll did something to shock his wife, and that was he shaved his face for the first time in 10 years, and people are losing their mind. But here's the thing. We haven't even seen it yet. We saw parts of it that like they've showed photos of like his partial shave, but not the full shave yet. He's gonna reveal that who knows when. It's a great like little tease. But but Bunny came on her Instagram and was making a big deal about this. She posted a video about it, and it's a big deal because he's lost so much weight.
Mm-hmm.
They're wondering if he's going to need a facelift, right? So
yeah,
on
that
camera,
happens.
I guess he showed him with a goatee, him with a cop stash, but not the full shaven, clean face yet.
And now he's even lost more weight because of all the hair that he shaved off. And her reaction, by the way, I don't know how much of a glowing endorsement this is. It says here at the bottom, when Jelly was done shaving, Bunny gasped, covered her mouth, and admitted the naked face was, quote, not terrible.
I mean, what? Okay, well, there you go.
So anyway, yeah, but here's one thing. Maybe she is a fan of facial hair. And so if the facial hair is gone, then that's that. I don't know.
Okay, we're at the end of our show where we traditionally ask a question of the day that we will post on Facebook, Kurt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page, as well as Jen Pirak's Facebook page, and occasionally the Kurt Cruz Facebook page.
If I've had enough sleep and I haven't been screaming match with a tow truck driver.
Yeah, our question of the day is this.
Age yourself with a brand.
Could be any brand of clothing, restaurant,
yeah,
cars.
Should we do the one that I said, the first one? If it's like anything you want to do, but as far as to me, I was thinking like Jordache jeans.
Yep, that's a good one.
If you say I liked or I knew or I bought these, then that's kind of aging yourself with a brand. So there you go.
Mine would be like used to be gunny sack dresses.
Oh wow!
And A Smile pants with I think A Smile is the one that had the ice cream cone on the label.
Was gunny sack dresses during your lifetime, or is that from like the 1920s?
No, it was they were gunny sack dresses. That was the brand, gunny sack.
Okay, that sounds to me like
I loved them. They were very fancy.
Okay, that's fine. I thought gunny sack to me is like how we're going to use this to have a potato sack race. Bing, 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 bing. That's a potato sack. All right. So yeah, let us know. Age yourself with the brand. We'll be back on Wednesday to have your answers, and we look forward to that.
That's when our next episode will air and come out. We do episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we will see you on Wednesday. Until then, make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and
laugh, everybody. It'll make you feel better, and it's good for the soul. Thanks so much for being here.
Have a good one.